Hey, my name is Mel, she, her, 38 years old, originally from Cincinnati, Ohio. I identify as a queer, masculine presenting woman. I feel like queer representation is sometimes forced. I think back to the L word, the original L word, which is when we first saw women loving women and even non-gender conforming or gender non-conforming. It was so novel, but in retrospect, it's just, 20 years later, it's like, could they have done better? I know, for example, they got a lot of pushback with, what was the trans guy's name? Max? It's like, you could tell that show was written by women who like women who do not know anything really about identifying as a non-woman. So fast forward to, more current L words, I think they've done a lot better. But even still, you don't see, like, Black mass in the center women, even in that show. I'll say the lack of representation has probably impacted me. So being, gender queer, I'll say a lot of gender non-conforming women tend to be not only white, but very, very thin in the media. And so it hides curves, specifically breasts. Not having anything, it just makes you more androgynous, so to speak, if you don't have any tail marks of, like hips, all of that stuff is gone. So it's just like, okay, I have, struggled with my weight, for example, because the heavier I get, the more curvier I am. But not seeing two massive center women with some size, I can't think of seeing it like at all. I feel to be more androgynous, I have to slim down. So I would think a lack of representation in the media, I wouldn't say that it doesn't make me feel like it's not myself. What it does is that it's just another body image that we are used to seeing that's now even compounded by gender. Like there are a lot of images, for example, of a woman who's not used to seeing overweight women in the media portrayed as sexy, or even guys who don't see, heavier guys portrayed as sexy. Everybody's got to be buff in the media to be sexy. So slim for women or whatever it may be, and buff for the guys. And then so now you have this like a non-conforming person like myself, and it's just like, well, not only do I have to have a slim and or buff body, it's just like you have to get rid of all the features that even kind of identify what your sex is. Intentional representation in the media to me would be a typical character that just happens to be gay. It just happens to also have a same gender partner at the house. And they have a character, they have a storyline outside of that, anything that's more organic, I should say, and that the storyline doesn't have to be always centered around their queerness, but that it still exists, but there's still a person outside of that, or a character outside of that. I love a lot about my queer identity. There's actually a lot of freedom in being a gender bender. Because like all the expectations that men have about being men or women have about being women, and I found a spot alone somewhere right in the middle. I mean, it took a ride. It took all throughout high school, maybe my 20s, just trying to find that lane. But once I found it, man, I just cruising that lane. Like, there are really no expectations, and to me, it's actually liberating once you are able to get past, worrying about what other people might think, or like worried about if somebody thinks you're a boy or a girl. Like, who cares? Just do what you want to do. And to me, it's very liberating.